Hello and welcome. This is India Today and you're watching Battle of Champions, our special show on the T20 World Cup. 3 days to go for that big clash between India and New Zealand, the one that we're dubbing as a virtual quarter-final. Let's take a look at what is the latest news from both the camps. Now, what we're getting to here is Hardik Pandya has begun bowling in the nets, and that's fantastic news for the Indian team that's looking for that sixth bowling option. On the other side, New Zealand camp, not great news. Martin Guptill apparently is not very fit to take the field in that India encounter. How is it going to impact the match? Here's all the latest.
Will he or won't he? That's the question Team India has been fretting over for quite some time now. Hardik Pandya's inability to bowl has restricted Virat Kohli's options. And with the match against New Zealand, a virtual quarter-final, this could get a little tricky for India. Hardik didn't take the field in the second innings against Pakistan after he complained of pain in his shoulder, but the good news is that the all-rounder has started bowling in the nets. While India is still searching for a perfect balance, things may not be looking too great for the Kiwis either. They have already lost their fastest pacer Lockie Ferguson to a calf injury, while opener Martin Guptill is also doubtful after being struck on his toe during the game against Pakistan.
In the match against
India though will still have to come up with their A game against a Kiwi side that is known to punch above their weight in ICC tournaments. Already the Dew has played its part in the tournament so far, and as the competition progresses, it could further become a huge factor.
I think the Dew factor is becoming prominent as we head into this time of the year in Dubai, and that is also going to help the pitches play much better. I presume Abu Dhabi and Dubai are going to be probably the best pitches out of all the venues, and Sharjah more or less will stay true to its true nature, which is slow and low, and I don't see many high scoring unless Dew becomes such a massive factor there as well. But yeah, wickets I feel are going to be much better in this tournament.
So far, 7 matches have been played in the evening, and on 6 of those occasions, teams batting second have won. Toss is all about luck, and unfortunately, Virat's record isn't too great there. In T20 internationals, Virat has won 18 out of 46 tosses, a percentage less than 40. In ODIs, that percentage goes up to 42 with 40 tosses won in 95 games. While in tests, he has won 28 tosses. Now 18 tosses that Virat won in T20s, India have gone on to win 13 games. Toss surely doesn't guarantee a win, but in UAE, with heavy dew around, bowling in the second innings has become difficult. In the recent past, Team India has shown that every time they find their backs against the wall, they come back stronger. This surely is the occasion to repeat that habit, because it's a World Cup that's on the line.
That should be an easy two.
Sports Bureau, India Today.
And that is 50 for Virat Kohli.
For all the latest from the Indian camp, I'm now joined by my colleague and managing editor sports of the India Today group, Vikrant Gupta. Vikrant, let's talk about the first good news, or I would say the first piece of good news in the last 4-5 days after India's loss to Pakistan is that we're getting to hear Hardik Pandya has been bowling in the nets. Now, I remember speaking to Sunny Gavaskar before that first encounter that he should be fit enough to play or at least bowl in that Pakistan game, but we saw probably while batting injured his shoulder. Looks like things are back on track, and that augurs well for the Indian team.
Well, it's also catch-22 for India, Nikhil. If Hardik is fit to bowl, as we are now being told, you'll also have to contend with the lack of form with his batting. I mean, he's playing in the team not just because he can bowl a couple of overs, also because he's a very destructive number 6 or number 7 batsman, and we've not seen that kind of form for months now. So you're hoping for a miracle when he comes out to bat. And then you also assume that maybe he can turn his arm over, bowl a couple of overs. There are others who also suggest that if you go to play a destructive batsman, play Ishan Kishan. Give him a chance. Either open with him or ask him to bat at number 6 or 7. Go with somebody who's hitting the ball well. And India can't afford to take any chances. Yes, we've all been fretting over Hardik Pandya's availability, his fitness and this and that. But I think one thing the people are missing out on is that his form has also deserted him.
Okay, what does one do then? Assuming, as you said, there's one option, then you can go with someone like an Ishan Kishan, in which case everyone drops down one order if he plays at number 4.
But they won't do that. They won't do that. I mean, they'll obviously go in with Hardik Pandya also. Only. I would also presume, Nikhil, that going in with Hardik Pandya at number 6 and 7 is what Virat had been planning for years now. But again, I don't know who's to be blamed for this mess. Is it Hardik Pandya? Is it the Mumbai Indians physio? Is it the selectors? Or is it the team management? I don't believe the fact that he was fit then and he's not fit now. His back was a problem. His shoulder is a problem. It's been likewise for a couple of years now. So when the selectors said that, oh, he's going to Sri Lanka, he'll bowl there also. When he came back, they said he could have bowled, but we asked him not to bowl. And then he didn't play in the first 3 games for Mumbai Indians. I mean, there's something wrong. And it's just that, like I said, it's a catch-22. You've got to win this game. And if Virat feels that Hardik is his go-to man at number 6, 7, so be it.
And he's going to play him irrespective of the fact that he bowls or not. And this is something that Virat had clarified right at the start. Whether that punt really plays out well for the Indian team, we'd have to wait and watch. Didn't quite work in that Pakistan game. But meanwhile, there's one other very big factor that is going to be influencing matches in the Middle East. And that's due. And we heard from Ajinkya Rahane and Wasim Akram during Aaj Tak's cricket conclave, Salam Cricket. And this is what they had to say.
Achha, I have a question. 3 venues are here. Abu Dhabi, Dubai and Sharjah. And you guys been here for over a month now. Due factor kitna tha yahan pe? Because due factor will come in place eventually.
Due factor actually लास्ट के जो 5-7-8 मैचेस हुए उसमें बहुत बड़ा था. इनिशियली उतना ड्यू नहीं था. आई थिंक वेदर जैसे थोड़ा चेंज होने लगा ड्यू बहुत ज़्यादा आ गया था. और स्पेशल जो मैच हम केकेआर के साथ खेले शारजा में, तो टॉस का इतना बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंस हो गया था. फर्स्ट इनिंग्स ऐसे लगा कि हम अलग विकेट पे खेले, सेकंड इनिंग्स अलग विकेट पे खेले बिकॉज ऑफ द ड्यू.
एज यू नो कि ड्यू से बॉल बड़ा अच्छा बल्ले पे आता है, स्विंग नहीं होता, स्टर्न नहीं होता. आई थिंक आप शायद एग्री करेंगे मेरे से कि इस वर्ल्ड कप में स्पिनर्स जिसके पास अच्छे होंगे, बिकॉज 3 वेन्यू हैं और इतने मैचेस अभी IPL के हो चुके हैं और वर्ल्ड कप के होने हैं, इवेंचुअली बॉल ग्रिप करेगा ही करेगा यहाँ पे. व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
ज़रूर बॉल ज़रूर ग्रिप करेगा और ये IPL में भी हो रहा था. बॉल ग्रिप कर रहा था, मे भी शायद उतना टर्न नहीं मिल रहा था, लेकिन हल्का सा स्लोनेस और बैट्समैन को शॉट मारना, स्पेशली जो नए बैट्समैन आ रहे थे विकेट पे, उनको शॉटें मारना बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा था. और ड्यू फैक्टर की वजह से वो थोड़ा बाद में चेंज हो गया. और टॉस आई एम श्योर अगर ड्यू फैक्टर उतना होता है तो टॉस बहुत ज़रूरी होगा.
बिल्कुल. और जैसे देखा कि तीनों वेन्यूज़ में से शारजा में सबसे लो स्कोरिंग हुआ. वहाँ बॉल लो भी रह रहा था और स्किट भी कर रहा था, और स्पिनर्स वहाँ ज़्यादा, जो मिस्ट्री स्पिनर्स थे वो ज़्यादा तंग कर रहे थे IPL में.
येस, आई थिंक उनको रीड करना बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा था. शारजा के मुझे लगा कि शायद वो लाइट्स की वजह से भी कहीं ना कहीं आपको आप रीड करना या बॉल सही से साइड करना, वो मैं तो मैचेस नहीं खेला जी, लेकिन वो मैं सुन रहा था बैट्समैन से कि उनको क्या दिक्कतें आ रही थी बॉल रीड करने में. तो
Right, as we heard there from Ajinkya Rahane, due is going to be a major factor. This is something that we've been seeing. If there's one venue out of the 3 where due has been the least sort of a factor, it has been Dubai so far. But moving on, in terms of other interesting aspects of this tournament, one thing to have emerged, which we've just begun to realize, is the scheduling of the tournament. Now take a look at this graphic at the moment, how the games have panned out. This is how India has played so far, and this is, we're looking at just before that India-New Zealand game, how many games each team in their group would have played. Pakistan would have finished playing 3. Afghanistan would have finished playing 3 as well. Scotland, Namibia 2. And India, New Zealand would have just played a game till then. Vikrant, I just wanted to know, how do you think this pans out? Does it really work for you? Stop-start sort of a tournament where you've played one game, you've lost that game, so it has time for you to introspect, get back into the rhythm, or it doesn't work for you because you end up losing rhythm?
Well, it's not a World Cup, the 50-50 World Cup. Even there, Nikhil, you play a game every 4-5 days. I mean, you're playing a T20 World Cup, which is about 23-day tournament, and you're playing your next game 7 days after the first game. You're playing 2 back-to-back games with the top 2 teams in your group. Hypothetically, I'm just talking about the World Cup. In World Cup's perspective, hypothetically, India lost to Pakistan. Now, if they lose to New Zealand on the 31st. The World Cup is over for the sponsors, for the Indian broadcasters, for the ICC and this and that. But I think the scheduling is left a lot to be desired. I'm sure when the scheduling was done, maybe the Indians thought it'll help them out because they were coming off the England tour and then the IPL, maybe a few days to rest. But then even if India had won the first game, they would have wanted to play the next game 3-4 days after 3-4 days. And now having lost a game, you can't wait for 7 days, because the more you wait, the more the fear of the failures, it starts creeping in.
For the moment, for the sake of the Indian fans, Vikrant, I hope you're wrong and the Indian team can bounce back and do a great performance against New Zealand.
And you switch on the World Cup once again.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, talking about the World Cup, there was this news making the rounds which probably said that Quinton de Kock may have played the last game for South Africa because he refused to take the knee. But now things have cleared because he's come out and apologized. He's put out a statement and he said, I would like to start by saying sorry to my teammates and the fans back home. That's the first thing he's done. Apologize. The other bit, he says, I understand the importance of standing against racism, and I also understand the responsibility of us as players to set an example. If me taking a knee helps to educate others and makes the lives of others better, I'm more than happy to do so. So the other thing that he's made it very clear is that he's not a racist, that he supports this cause. I think it would have been better for everyone concerned if he had sorted this out before the tournament started. Then we could have focused on our job to win cricket matches for our country. There always seems to be a drama when we go to the World Cups. That isn't fair. So the moot point here is, did Cricket South Africa call upon themselves this sort of a situation where Quinton de Kock had to take a step like that? But as they say, all's well that ends well. He's now decided to take the knee and will participate in the games ahead. Thanks so much for watching. You're watching Battle of Champions.